Hey everyone, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. Just want to have a quick look at this really big exhaust that got added to this Hilux and give you some information. As a reminder, in case you missed it, bigger exhausts allow overboosts. So the turbo specialist, that's what he does. He specialises in turbos. He says to us, the bigger exhausts allow overboosts and that's what damages the turbo. He goes into detail and explains it a bit more, but people like short videos. So for this one, it's a short one. You want a big exhaust, you can put it on if you want, but the engines and the exhausts on our Prados and Hiluxes have got enough size that they breathe quite well. The client had this fitted to his vehicle and shortly afterwards, limp mode and turbo codes. So it's getting a new turbo. The turbo certainly looks a bit worse for wear, okay? We'll have a look at the vehicle in a moment and you'll probably see a bit more detail. By the color of the black oil that's leaking out of there, I would say that it's a bit under service, needs some more oil changes, would help also. So it could be a number of contributing factors. It is a diesel, the oil is black, yes, but with regular oil changes and those solutions in place, it should stay a lot cleaner than that. Oil's the lifeblood, oil's cheap, much cheaper than an engine. 50 or 100 bucks worth of oil is much cheaper than 15 or 20 grand for an engine, or $3 or $4 or $5,000 for a turbo. So this turbo, Kaputski, it's a 2005. Lots of bolts, just all the bolts broke off. You can see the stud in there, what's left of it. You know, that's broken off. There's another bolt stud broken off in there. Over to the vehicle. It is a ex-mine vehicle. Now, I just, look, it's a bit too late for this one. I don't want to be going, oh, you know, because he's already got the vehicle. He's going to be watching the video. But at the end of the day, if you see a vehicle with this much corrosion on it, have a good look around. Wait till you see if we get underneath this thing again. We probably won't, but it's the chassis, very badly rusted anyway, right? So yeah, I think a lot of people can see what I mean. It's pretty grotty, it's pretty dirty. Oh, I think I did the injectors on it years ago. It would have been nice and clean then, as good as can be. You'll probably find some videos on that. If you go back 2016, 17, 18, I'm just taking a big guess there. Somewhere there you would have found where we worked on this. You'll probably see all the corrosion there. And then obviously we cleaned it all up. I'm just going to pick on a few things because it's just not good enough, okay? And I'm trying to help people here. So battery terminal, the positive, that nut there looks like it's about one turn on. And, you know, that's just not good enough, to be quite honest. Now, and I did have another client tell me, I need you to tell everybody, because he wants to help people as well. He says, fix the heart before the Botox. Well, he did fix the heart. He did the injectors. But then the Ironman bull bar, brush bars and all that. Look at the gap on this Ironman, right? So just be careful where you go. Maybe whoever fitted it, Ironman in Melbourne or whoever it was, I don't know who fitted it. I'm just saying, you know, it could be them. Maybe they don't know how to fit their own products. I don't know. Maybe it's not they're just a dealer. Anyway, big side steps, they do stick out a long way. Probably a bit too far, but then you can see there's a big gap there, so there's no sill protection. So good steps, but no sill protection. So a bit of a downside to those. There's lots of different side steps on vehicles. I'm working on getting kaon.com.au to make some Australian-made quality that basically I'll give the tick of approval, and if I like them, I think everybody else is going to love it as well. So at the end of the day, stay tuned for your Prados and Hiluxes for proper Australian-made heavy-duty side steps. Okay, obviously this has got a new turbo. A couple of things I want to point out. The problem we got is, okay, so there's some exhaust manifold heat shields that I would love and always be able to normally reuse, but have a look at the surface corrosion on this exhaust manifold. I mean, it's just crazy, right? I don't even know if those bolts would want to come out anyway, but we weren't going to try because I was almost like, this kind of needs a new manifold. Have a look at see that? Can you see that one there? Right, what chances do you reckon we had of getting that out? This vehicle is the worst, most rusted, corroded. Yeah, and I'm sure people have seen worse because they work in mines but this is, out of all the mine vehicles, from the amount of rust, this is the worst we've seen. We got lucky with the dump pipe because whoever changed and put that exhaust on, so those bolts were pretty straightforward to get off. But see these ones here, they were quite difficult, but we got those off. We had to reuse the nuts. The turbo comes with new studs. That is one part that I wasn't keeping in stock, but now I've ordered those 3 nuts, so we've got those spares as well, because we keep the other ones for the bracket. There's a few other ones down here that broke. See on the back of the turbo, you can see new bolts there, new nuts is what we supply for there as well. With the turbo, of course, the turbo kit with all the gaskets, that sort of thing. But so basically, what I want to say is this turbo replacement job, look, when you've done a few of these and everything goes straight forward, let's just talk ballpark. It's a half a day job, right? It's a few $100. It's about a $500 job, you know, usually something like that, you know, more or less. There's a few variables, depends on, you know, brush bars, size of your tires, access to the vehicle, you know, everything, you know, access in here. You got catch cans and things and more things we've got to move out of the way. So a few variables, but so far this vehicle has taken a full day, right? And it's going into the second day now. It's nearly done. We're getting there. It looks like about an hour to go, but who knows, right? There's other issues as well. I'll get to those in a minute because I mainly wanted to talk turbo for the first. Hopefully we'll try and keep it to about 10 minutes anyway. But out of all this trouble we had, we wanted to be able to get it apart so that we can actually be able to fit a turbo back to the vehicle again and get the car back on the road and out the door. Because if we busted too many nuts and bolts and didn't have them and that sort of thing, obviously it just creates more problems. So we took all the care and time and everything we could. Anyway, we're back to where we are here with a brand new genuine turbo that we keep in stock on the shelf here. And the only thing we're unable to use at this stage is the exhaust manifold heat shields, right? Now we could put this top one in, this bottom one, using the bottom bolt, but I'm concerned it might vibrate around and make noise and stuff like that. You could use some high temperature RTV or something and sort of glue it back on. Got a few ideas, but look, my main concern, I think we can get away with that. It's not a big deal. You can see it's a heat shield, you know, obviously over here. Keeping the heat away from other components is important, but luckily Toyota do over-engineer things, and as much as they're meant to be a heat shield here, the concern is for this rubber here, but I believe the rubber's going to be much better. But it's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, and if there was some problems later, it may have to be replaced. So we're certainly going to give the heat shields back to the customer. That's how it's going to go at this stage, because I don't really want to be any part of the trial of the first RTV, gluing them on, blah, 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 you know what I mean? So we've got one broken off in that manifold there. There's another one, have a look at that one there, right? Okay, and I think there's an empty bolt hole on the turbo down there. There you go, right? That's for the third bolt. So we could use that one. So it's a possibility of using that one to drill and tap that out. Yeah, you'd have to pull the manifold off, correct? And we contemplated that, but you know what? We sort of went, look at those bolts. The amount of trouble we had just getting this old turbo off, we didn't want any more trouble because it's his money as well. So calculated risk, I've gone, well, we can risk spending hundreds or thousands more dollars trying to get this manifold off, causing more problems, or we can just go, you know what, let's risk it for the biscuit the way it is for now. Worst case scenario, what's it going to do? This hose is going to get a bit hot and deteriorate prematurely. It's already bloody nearly 20 years old. Car's a 2005, I believe, from memory. It's 23 now, that's 18 years old. You know, I suppose, you know, the heat's going to come out here a bit as well, but it's a long way from the exhaust. So I really don't think that the exhaust down there is going to have issues with these hoses, you know, master cylinders and stuff like that. I just think Toyota do over-engineer things sometimes. This thing overall is a bit worse for wear, but after the new turbo and getting the stock exhaust back on, it should run very well. It's going to need some other work. There's some issues like the coolant level was very low, okay, before we bothered doing anything with the turbo. So is the water pump leaking? Looks like it could still have the original water pump, right? So the water pump could be leaking, could be something else, who knows? We haven't looked at that. It's not here for that. It's here for one thing at a time. And of course, the power steering level. Doesn't look like there's any in there. Apparently the rack's got a massive leak, the steering rack. So that'd be something we haven't seen as well. So if you want to see more on those things, there could be videos on those. Subscribe, turn the bell on. Like I said, the turbo guy says the bigger exhaust allows overboost, and that's what damages the turbo. Now, there is people that have turbos fail with that big exhaust as well. Sometimes there's just a bit of luck, but there's a number of contributing factors. I'll put this video in the turbo information playlist. We've got a playlist there. Go on 4x4 diesel. Yep. Subscriptions. Yep. 4x4 diesel. Click on our page, playlists, and you'll find the one talks about turbos and turbo stuff, blah, blah, blah. One day we will get to the turbo specialist and we'll pay him in kind with all our old turbos. We've got a whole heap of old turbos, not really, just a few here and there. He can have those. And what I would like to do is get a video with him stripping it down and talking about what the problems and what causes the problems for you guys to help get you, and even myself, more educated, and his position on it. He works with them every day. That's what he specialises in. I reckon he might know something about it. What do you think? Anyway, catch you on the next video, people. See ya.